welcome back! I hope you are ready to tackle Autumn Equinox, which is our second and final semester at Orilium this year. And we have some old things and we have some new things, so let's get into that. If you're totally new, hi, welcome. I know it can be a little bit overwhelming, but essentially Magical Readathon is kind of a roleplay fantasy reading game where we create a character, pick a desired career, which we call a calling, and then attend a magical university called Orilium Academy. If you're keen to join, please do not feel discouraged that this is a second semester. We can all just pretend that you've done the first one, and you can join us here as well. You don't have to wait another year. But to simplify, you really just need to do 3 things. Use the brief history of LDA file linked in the description bar as well in the Magical Readathon G drive, where pretty much anything that I mention here is going to be located, so people can just download their files, print them out, or simply look at them digitally. But in the brief history, there you will find information on the world as well as the continents, but also the types of magical people that we have in this universe. So all you need to do is pick the type of person you would like to play, look at the callings file where you'll have a variety of magical careers to pick from, and on every career page you'll have the spring equinox and autumn equinox, a bunch of magical subjects that you need to study to pass and progress with your career. The way that we study is that each magical lesson will have a different reading prompt every single semester. In spring, it's easy peasy. You just find the subjects that you need and you see the prompt and you fill those in. In autumn, we go a little bit extra and we do have 3 grades: ordinary, qualified, and distinguished. But essentially it works the exact same way. Each of these will have a prompt and we pick a book that fits that prompt and then we read said book. Third optional step that is slightly recommended: go through this little story here and take a quiz depending on your character's personality and their choices. You will be invited into one of the 4 guilds that we have. Again, this bit is optional. You don't have to do that, especially if you're finding everything a little bit overwhelming, but once you are ready, it is encouraged, just so you get to be included in your guild activities as well. You might also have some questions that are asked fairly frequently, and so the wardens of the Discord community have also created this very handy frequently asked questions file, which I want to say 90% of the questions people have will be answered in that file, so definitely have a look. And then if it isn't, we also have a separate chat in the Discord channel where these questions can be asked. Anyone that knows the answer can answer you there. But if you do decide to join us, I hope you'll have a wonderful time, and for everyone returning, happy Magical Readathon! Thank you for coming back, really. So as you know, Autumn Equinox is going to be taking place in September, which means that we start on the 1st of September and then finish on the 30th. And as per usual, we'll aim to have an all-nighter, which is the 24-hour window where we try to prioritize reading above anything else. I personally always historically slept throughout this. There are some people that challenge themselves not to, but I will never be pitching this because I do think sleep is very important. But if you want to, you can do so. The main thing that is a little bit different about the all-nighter is that we normally have live sprints that are happening that are a little bit more extravagant or a little bit more lengthy compared to the usual starting and finishing sprint. The live streams in between, a lot of the guild reputation points are dished out in these sprints as well. The all-nighter in this autumn equinox is going to be during the 20th to 21st of September weekend, and we're normally starting at 2 p.m. in the afternoon and then finishing at 2 p.m. on Sunday. Whether you want to match my time zone or your own, it is completely up to you, whatever works best. One thing about this readathon, we do have a lot of rules, but we do not police them. You do whatever you want to do as long as you're having fun. If you do want to do things by the rules, you can always ask us on Discord and we will clarify that too. We do not change our careers in autumn equinox, so do just go and check what your requirements for autumn equinox are. Again, they're going to be listed in the file under the description of your particular calling. Because remember, you do not need to read everything. You just need to read the specific subjects that your calling requires. But what is new is our Guild Emporium has increased in some items. We have obviously new reading prompts and also a new communal goal theme. In April, we have embarked in a different type of side quest story, and we were rescuing dragons. That has gone down so well. I was so pleased to see everyone's excitement and enthusiasm, and obviously it's easy to see that things were going well just by the fact that we pretty much read the most we have ever read, and we definitely read the most we have ever read during spring equinox, because historically autumn equinox is where the numbers are higher because there's just more, it's just a little bit more challenging, it's a little bit more to read. But we really smashed all the records last semester, so I'm curious to see how this one's going to go. But we're no longer looking for dragons, that one has wrapped up for now, but we are helping a very lovely, very beautiful, very magical pet sanctuary, because the pet sanctuary needs our assistance. We're looking for heroic and adventurous volunteers to act as first responders for the sanctuary. We'll be required to travel to exotic and potentially dangerous locations on a generous expense budget to retrieve unique animals and bring them back to the sanctuary for care and rehoming. Some of these will have been reported as injured, in peril, previous pets who became a little too much for their last owners, and other animals that may have been stirring a little bit too much trouble for the locals. These callouts will take you all over Eldia, from the dunes of Dayrune to the obscured and stony valleys of Dark Meadow, but the core goal remains the same: protect and secure the little creatures. The definition of little in the context of little creatures may be open to generous interpretation. So very similarly to the last semester, we're going to collectively track our reading during the readathon as we have always done, and we will be checking our collectively read pages. I do think this does add to the feeling of community, and I have really enjoyed the last semester and what happened throughout that. So I hope you'll have a lot of fun with this as well. The forum, as always, opens on the 1st of September when we officially do start the readathon. You can submit every book that you have read for the purpose of the readathon. We normally try to challenge ourselves to beat our previous year record of said semesters. This time is the autumn equinox of 2024, and our total back then was 7,692,273 pages. That included 23,960 books in total. We're gonna be aiming loosely at 8 million, and hopefully we'll get there. I can never predict what's going to happen. We have smashed that goal and more in April with almost 9 million pages. So wherever we're gonna end up, I'm not quite sure, but I guess we will see. And in the same type of sense of like, who's that Pokemon? We're gonna have this graphic where we can see the silhouette of the next upcoming animal in this scenario, and it will be revealed and replaced with the actual graphic once we have it, and then the next silhouette is going to be uncovered. Now, a little bit different from the previous semester, but also not entirely, because I did kind of mix and match while I was figuring out how to do this. If all goes to plan, all of the reveals of the rescues are going to be happening during the live streams. If we happen to rescue more than one in the gap in between the live streams, we'll just reveal multiple during it, but I think it's really fun to uncover them together. And also, if you cannot make the live stream, these are absolutely always available for replay on my channel, so you will be able to see that as well. And the graphics and everything is of course going to be shared on socials, mainly on Instagram and on our Discord. But I'm really excited to go on these rescue missions with you, and I hope that you will be excited to see what's waiting for us. We'll learn a little bit more about what sort of animals roam Eldia, and obviously we already have a lot. So we just keep piling on, and the lore grows every year. These live streams are not necessarily scheduled. I'm just going to play it by ear. So definitely subscribe to the channel so you get the notifications when I do go live and when the live stream is planned. I know sometimes it's easy to just forget to click that button, but click the button. It'll be the easiest way to not miss those. And excitingly for your character, we of course will be able to either adopt or sponsor if you want to just continue visiting the pet in the rescue rather than bring them back because maybe it's not feasible. But we'll be able to select one animal each at the very end of our journeys to make it ours. As always, a massive thank you to Logan for being our in-house resident artist, for drawing the sanctuary for storefront, all the animals, all the items. It really is a joint effort, and I feel like it's important to put it out there. Okay, let's get to the meat of it all, the prompts for Autumn Equinox 2025. Our syllabus for this semester is of course going to be on the G Drive, but I'm going to go through these with you just now in case I need to add on a little bit of an extra explanation on any of them. We do have, what is it, like 42 or something, so you know, grab a little snack. Again, we have 3 grades: Ordinary, Qualified, and Distinguished. So if you need a distinguished grade in alchemy, that means you need to read the book for Ordinary, the book for Qualified, and the book for Distinguished, because it is a tiered system. You cannot get a distinguished grade if you don't already have Ordinary and Qualified. It's like a level up system, okay? Alright, alchemy. For Ordinary, we are studying Liquid Sunlight with the prompt Sun on the cover. For Qualified, we are studying Blossom Properties, and the prompt is cover in your birth flower color. Now I'm going to insert a picture here of a random birth flower chart that I found online, but for the simplicity matter, because I feel like there's so many versions, we're just gonna go with this. And if you have any qualms with the accuracy or whatever's of this, don't blame me. You're also very free to find a different one if you prefer. Helping out in case that simplifies things. And then for Distinguished, we are learning some flavor enhancing tricks, and the prompt for that is to read a book by author, which means that it's an author that releases a new book and you automatically buy it. You don't even need to read a synopsis of theirs or anything. You just have a lot of faith in them, and whatever they come out with, you are very likely to pick it up without even looking into it at all. For animal studies, because we have so many dragons now, we are kind of focusing on that as well. So for Ordinary, we are studying hatchlings, and the prompt for that is a debut book, which means this is the first book the author is publishing or releasing. For Qualified, it is Baby Dragon Care, and the prompt for that is to read a sequel. And for Distinguished, Elder Dragon Care, and the prompt for that is a last book in a series, and alternatively, if the series is ongoing and it's not finished, the last book that is available for you in that series. Moving on to Art of Illusion. For Ordinary, we are studying Biome Manipulation, and the prompt for this is autumnal setting, whether that is within the story or it is on the cover, anything fits. Qualified, it is Smokescreen, and the prompt is technology on the cover. That can be a computer, that can be a headset, earphones, a phone, TV, anything technology on the cover. And for Distinguished, it's reverse reflection, and the prompt for that is a reverse image or mirror on the cover. Mirror is self-explanatory, but for the reverse one, I'll try and pop some images here of the covers that would qualify. But all I mean by that is that basically if you fold it in half, they match up. For Astronomy, for Ordinary, we're studying Invisible Stars, and the prompt for this is to read a book with a character that has an invisible illness. That can be any type of chronic pain or a condition or a disability that is not easily visible, or also a mental health theme like depression, anxiety. For Qualified, we're studying Orbital Shifts, and the prompt for this is a genre that you do not read often. And Distinguished is Meteor Shower with a prompt of a book under 250 pages. Conjuration. We are conjuring circles for Ordinary, and the prompt, fittingly, is a circle on the cover. For Qualified, we are studying borrowing spells, and the prompt for this is to borrow a book from another TBR, whether that's a TBR video you're watching or a TBR picture someone's sharing on Discord or Instagram. Just spot a book from someone else's TBR and yoink. Distinguished, we are conjuring snacks, so any type of food on the cover is the prompt. Demonology. For Ordinary, we are looking into impling outbursts and how to handle those because we know they have them. And the prompt is an emotion in the title, so any type of word that you think would count as an emotion. For Qualified, we're studying Underground Habitat. The prompt for this is book with a dungeon, cave, or a secret lair. That again can be in a title or inside of the book in the context of the story, up to you. For Distinguished, we are studying New Gen Demons, to read a book by an author who is younger than you. Elemental Studies. Ordinary, we are learning Stormcall, which has a prompt of water on the cover. Qualified, Rekindling Cinders, read a book with a romance. And for Distinguished, it is an Ice Spike Columns. Pick 3 books, read the first paragraph of said 3 books, and then whichever one actually piqued your interest the most, read that book. Spells and Incantations. For Ordinary, we are learning the Luck Charm. This is a repeat prompt, so some of you will be familiar with this, but we are rolling a d6 die. You can do it physically or through an online page, and then reading a book in that number bracket. So if you roll a 1, it's to read a book between 1 and 100 pages. If you roll a 2, it's between 101 and 200. You get the gist. Qualified, it's current spell trends, and the prompt for this is to read a book released this year. And for Distinguished, we're learning an incantation called Capture Moments, and the prompt is an illustrated cover. So not a picture, not a collage, but like fully illustrated. Artificary. For Outstanding, we're learning the 9 laws of Artificary, and the prompt is the 9th book you see on social media. So whenever you're ready, open up a social media of your choice and scroll and count, and the 9th book you see, pick that. Unless you've obviously read that, then pick the next one. You get it. For Qualified, we're studying Portable Doors, and the prompt is portal, archway, or door on cover. And Distinguish, we're studying weatherproofing. This depends on the current weather whilst you're watching this video. If it's currently sunny outside for you, your prompt is a book which ends with an even page number, and if it's cloudy, it's a book that ends on an uneven number. Moving on to Inscription. For Ordinary, we are studying the magic of prime numbers. And the prompt is a prime number of letters in the title. So a prime number, as you all will know, is a number that only divides by number 1 or itself. So some of the more viable options here for the actual title length is 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, maybe 17, maybe 19, maybe 23, depends on how long the title is and how many words there are. But count the letters of the title and see if it fits in any of those numbers. You can always remind yourself by Googling prime number list and then try and fit into that. For Qualified, we are studying Archiving, and the prompt is a vertical spine title. So actually, let me grab a little example here. So for example, this book has the text horizontally, because if you put the book horizontally, hold on. If you put the book horizontally, you will be able to read the title. But then some books that would fit this particular prompt are books like this. So when you stand them up, you can actually read the title vertically. So this is your prompt. And for Distinguished, the Animal Taming Runes, and the prompt is any type of animal on the cover. Moving on to Lore. For Ordinary, we are studying Forgotten Tongues, and you'll be happy to know that the prompt is not a tongue on the cover, but it is a translated book. For Qualified, we are studying Ancient Post, and the prompt is a letter or a note on the cover or inside of the book. You know how some books will have like characters exchanging letters? That would also qualify. For Distinguish, we are studying the myth of the Minusmule, and the prompt for this is 2 or more letter M's in the title. So if the letter M appears in the title twice or more, it automatically fits in. Psionics and Divination. For Outstanding, we are studying Premonition Prep, and the prompt for this is a genre. I'll try and remember to put a link to a genre spin wheel down below, but you can also just edit this however you like it to be and simply Google spin the wheel. It's all free, and you can type in the genres that you want to spin between and then spin it and read something from the one that wins. Qualified, we are studying Future Sight, a book with a TV or a movie adaptation. Now for Distinguished, we are studying dream interpretations, and this will require you trying to remember your dream, like the next one that you have or the one after that. You know, luckily we still have a lot of time before the September kicks in, so hopefully this is not gonna be too difficult, but once you do try and remember a dream that you had from now until the readathon starts, try and fit a book to the theme of that dream. So for example, if you dream of monkeys, maybe a monkey on the cover. If you dream of ghost or a haunted house, maybe ghost or haunted house, either on the cover or like a theme of the book. Only two more. Restoration for ordinary, unbroken, focus, tincture, and read a book with a single POV, so the entire book is told from like one character's perspective. Qualified, continental remedies. We are repeating the prompt from the last year or last semester even, because that one went down so well and you guys really enjoyed it, so I thought I will include it again. Go into a random country generator, generate 5 countries, and then pick a book by an author from that said country for one of them. So we're giving 5 because sometimes it's a little bit trickier than other times, especially if you were looking for well-translated books, but we found that 5 tries normally gives you something to work on. For distinguish is Magical Rehabilitation 101, and the prompt is give an author a second chance. An author that you didn't particularly care for, one of their books or 2 of their books, and give them another chance. Maybe they have a new book, maybe they've improved, maybe they didn't. Guess we'll see. And last but not least, shapeshifting for ordinary camouflage practice. Read a book that has a genre blend, so a hybrid book like fantasy and horror, or cozy and mystery, or obviously fantasy and romance. And for qualified, analyzing DNA, and then the title starts with a letter D and or A. Lastly, for distinguish, we are learning the formation of doubles, which means that the prompt is multiple POV. Doesn't have to be 2, can be way more, but just not 1. More than 1. And for shape-shifting in particular, but also for all of it really, big shout out to my Patreons who have helped me with some of these prompts, because especially with by the time I got to shape-shifting, I was like all out. But these are the prompts, and I hope that these sound fun. I hope the ones that you will get for your particular calling will also work for you. But if not, remember that we do have some scrolls and tools from the Guild Emporium that you can use to manipulate the reading game if you need to. And that brings us nicely to the Guild Emporium. A quick reminder on the Guild Emporium. The Guild Emporium is basically our in-game, inside of the readathon shop. You can spend guild reputation points as currency in this shop to get yourself either things to help with your reading or flavor magical items for your character. Now, how do you get the points? This list is non-inclusive of every way that it is possible to actually get points, but includes some of the most common ones. So every time you complete a semester fully and pass all of your required grades, you get 50 points. If you're participating in the Year in Eldia challenge, every month you complete it and pass that point on the map, you get 10 reputation points. If you do any side quests, those always will have however many points, which is normally 10 also, listed in the quest parchment. If you participated in any Lightfall events, those also have points attached to them. If you read anything for extra credit, so you read extra subjects that are not required for your actual career, you also get points for that. A lot of the points probably come from participating in the games and spin the wheels and challenges and quizzes during the live stream, so you probably banked quite a lot there if you participated as well. And there's also things like bingo cards that you get points as well. So there's like loads of ways to actually accumulate some of these points, and then you can go shopping. And it's great because it's not real currency, but it still scratches the kind of like retail therapy needs. Getting into the actual Guild Emporium, we do have 2 kind of categories. One is stuff that actually affects your readathon and like actual reading, and then the other stuff that is more so flavor and just fun things for you to purchase for your character's inventory. The things that do affect your reading will now be at the beginning of the Guild Emporium file. The study help board explains a little bit more and can purchase scrolls to counting a DNF, changing a prompt with another prompt from the list, scroll for counting your book that is over 500 pages for 2 prompts, a scroll for either counting a book that you started before September began or being able to finish a book after the 30th of September runs has. And there's also Scroll of Scholarly Power, which just allows you to double up, triple up your prompts. So it basically scraps the rule of 1 book per prompt. And if you're very imaginative and you match up the books really, really well, you can end up reading 1 book and fit it in 12 prompts. The prompts still need to fit, mind you, but you can narrow down the amount of books that you need to read, especially if you want a particular career, but you don't actually read that many books per month. So this would be a perfect option for you. So I'm not going to recap all of the previous items that we've had in the Guild Emporium. If they are new to you, please have a little peruse. It's very fun. But we have categories like adventure themed items, we have scholarly items, we have some implink care items, we have some companions, we have lifestyle items, and now we will also have creature care items. Obviously, it's very thematic, keeping it with our quest of the semester. And also, because of the last semester's shenanigans, a lot of you now own a dragon. So you might be interested in a couple of these items. I will actually go through these with you. So I will be reading because I do not have that kind of memory. But new things in the shop. The lair bed. It's massive, it's comfy, and it's filled with a hoard of treasure-themed pillows. Even the pickiest of dragons will snuggle up in this luxury bed. They might just wait to do so discreetly and in private, as we know they have their fierce reputation to uphold. Then we have a chew toy, also mainly obviously aimed for dragons. The life-size rubber simulacrum of your standard sheep is the perfect chew toy for any pet big enough to consider chewing on a sheep. We initially asked our manufacturer to include a flexible hole in the back to insert treats, but that led to a lot of very weird follow-up questions. It's made from recycled Dragon Tamer armor. You can purchase that for 50 points. Dragon Keeper's Compendium. All the knowledge you could possibly need on the various known dragons of Eldia. This encyclopedia covers recognition, development, training, and care requirements, as well as a helpful guide on recognizing whether your dragon has become old enough to develop sapience and should be disposing of their own waste now instead of getting you to do it. 2 tomes of Dragon Adventurer journals used as inspiration or a cautionary tale. Scale polish and accessories. Keep your scaly friends looking bright and full of life with our 100% certified hypoallergenic smooth sheer SPF 320 odorless polishing cream. Compact. Just because you're busy frolicking does not mean your dragon should skip their spa day. For 20 points, you could also purchase Dragon Balls. Our big old inflatable Dragon Balls can withstand a kicking and gnawing from even the most boisterous of draconic companions. Perfect for outdoor exercise and available in a range of unmistakably bright colors to ensure that anyone nearby has ample opportunity to get out of the way. Page number 2. For 50 points, you can purchase a Pet Patch Pack. Keep your animal companions safe in an emergency with a Pet Patch Pack. Contains cure wound wands, elasticated gauze, and a few doses of veterinary strength soothing tincture. It's very important to be responsible and prepared for any type of scenario, so I would highly recommend. Somewhat unfortunate, a lot of creatures do require their claws being trimmed if they want to be comfortable, and especially around you if you want to be safe. So for 30 points, you can also get resizable claw trimmers. A must-have for any responsible creature carer. These claw trimmers magically resize depending on how far apart you pull them. The blades themselves are forged from moonspun elven steel, meaning they won't get ridiculously heavy even at ridiculous sizes. Very prevalent for the dragon owners amongst us. Extra large waist bags. Imagine this actually goes like as a backpack, by the way. The recent influx of dragons in Orilium has led to the faculty adopting a pay-by-the-pound approach to animal fouling. So unless you're absolutely made of money, and a bit of a bastard, we'd recommend stocking up on these easy-to-carry, heavy-duty bags before taking any under-trained dragons out and about. And then very excitingly, for your decorative and fun purposes, we have region-themed scratching posts. Level up your pets' naps and keep their self-care exciting with a selection of regionally themed scratching posts. Energizing, Paw at the dazzling lights of Carador and experience the enchanting atmosphere of a mage tower. Soothing. Nest in a near-perfect replica of the Arthurian mother tree, complete with a calming charm. Heidi. Explore the depths of Dark Meadow away from prying eyes and perfect for scheming. Or Adventuring. Pilot a Dayrune sandship and navigate through the illusions of dunes. Larger versions can be made to order, and this will cost you 150 guild reputation points. But can you put a cost to your little creature's happiness? On to the last page. Auto washer. That's the sound of your filthy little creature learning that there are consequences for getting into the crawl space, stumbling over inkwells, or rolling about in questionably smelling semi-solid outdoor muck. But fear not, with the small animal auto washer, you can make sure they are clean, relaxed, and smelling fresh, and all in under 5 minutes without you having to break a sweat. A win-win for you both. For 100 guild reputation points, you can have a whole collection of animal care tomes. Wide variety of specialist care guides written by a range of presumably qualified beastmasters. If your beastly interests span across multiple species, you may consider investing in this stunning collection. You're sure to find whatever it is you're looking for. If you order now, you will also receive a Guild Emporium exclusive display chest made from the Ashwood of Artheria, stylish and protective. Repels thieves. The Levitation Pet Orb for only 50 guild reputation points. Have separation anxiety? Bring a tiny friend wherever you go. The levitating pet orb hovers up to 2 meters from the ground, and it is magnificently steered by your pet. Studies show that they truly enjoy the experience, especially if they are of the non-flying variety. However, we suspect it's mainly the newborn ability to drive this little device into various objects, people, and buildings that brings said joy rather than the simple act of floating. But who are we to argue with science? And then the very last additional item is the Envirodome. This one is spenny, but it is a beauty. 200 guild reputation points. Behold, a desk-sized terrarium of dwarven engineering that can mimic a wide range of climates to create a near natural environment tailored specifically to your pet's needs. We're not talking temperature and humidity, that's amateur hour. We're talking adaptable decor, live miniature flora, sound ambience, and even weather conditions from storms to a light breeze. Now that's luxury. But your tiny friend deserves it, do they not? We may judge you if you say no. Requires weekly cleaning unless the desired environment is a bog. So that's all of the new additions to our Guild Emporium shop. Let me know if you already have an eye on specific goods that you're really looking forward to purchasing. Always really curious to see. Only a couple more bits to go through. So first, this is no promises because I still haven't done it. So that's the only reason why I'm not like promising, because I know a lot of people are on their 4th year, which means that they technically will be graduating with the master's level of expertise in their current calling. I am going to try and make a diploma certificate type of template so that you can customize it to fit your character and download it and print it out. Now on to book clubs. Book clubs are a fun collective guild activity, so your guild on Discord, which is where the book clubs mainly primarily happen, have their own chambers where only people from that said guild have access to it. And they also have this guild-specific reading rooms, and that is where you discuss the books that you read as a book club book in a non-spoilery way, but if you want to talk about spoilers, you can use a spoiler tag on Discord, just preface it with what the spoiler is about or from. You pick your own guild book, so in the description we'll have the nomination forms linked down below. So submit a nomination of a book that you would like to see in as your guild book club this semester. You have until the 17th of August. Submit your nomination. Once this date is closed, I will pick 4 options at random from the list of your nominations, and I will send out a second form for everyone to vote on which 4 of those books you want to read with your guild. Remember that reading the guild book together actually does give you 10 guild reputation points, So it's a little extra incentive, but also it's just fun. It's fun to talk with your guild members as well. Okay, I think we are caught up on this. I may be forgetting something, but if I do, I will pin a comment down below, including whatever information I have forgotten. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am so excited to go on another semester of magical adventures and reading with you. I hope that we'll find some amazing books, get inspired to be playful with our reading lives, really, that is the point. I'm excited to see all of your TBRs and all of the chatter that happens after the announcement goes up, and I, Dovanthia, will see you on the 1st of September. Until then, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye! We have 3 grades, ordinary, qualified, and the prompt for that is that... Oh my god, the neighbor is out in the balcony. Do not look this way. This one is spenny, but it is a beauty and a scientific marble. Oh my fucking god. How are you spending your Saturday? Is it this, or are you normal?